Alright, today we're going to be doing a review on Terry Pratchett's Discworld Anhk-Morpork, a board game designed by Martin Wallace. So, we're going to first take a look at all the components, and then we'll explain how to play the game, and then do my final review. Alright guys, we're going to be getting the components here. First, most important is the rule book. It's a very small, very well illustrated book on how to play the game with some examples. You're going to get some player aid sheets that are double-sided. You got the personality cards and the city area cards, what they all do, as well as the card symbols and what they do. So this game couldn't be any more simpler to explain. You're going to get a 10-sided die. I was hoping that the 8 would have had a 7A instead of 8 because of Discworld and all its games. You're going to get trouble markers, 8 buildings in 4 different colors: green, yellow, blue, and red. You're going to get minions on different colors. You got all those colors. And you have some demon markers and troll markers. Those are the playing pieces. You get some money. This is the 5 Anhk-Morpork dollars and a single $1 Morpork dollar. Now, this is one of the personality cards. This is Lord Rust. This is, and there's different ones. You got Commander Vimes, which basically he ends if the draw deck is gone. This guy wins. Dragon King of Arms. He wins if there's 8 trouble markers on the board at the beginning of his turn. So there's all these different ways to play the game with different characters. You also have the random event deck. So you can get stuff like riots, floods, mysterious murder cards, and these all play into the mess with you kind of game. Then you got the locations like the Shades, Dragon's Landing, Unreal Estate, Dolly Sisters, 7 Sleepers. And each one of these, when you build a building in an area, you get the ability that goes with the buildings. And each, most of them you get to do the ability at the beginning of your turn. You get it like whether you get money or something along those lines. And an interesting thing about this game is the decks. You have 2 kinds. You got the these are the green background cards, and these go on the top of the deck, very top. So you'll be drawing these in the beginning of games. You basically have the what the card does, the colorful illustration of the word, and the flavor text at the bottom there. And then you got the brown ones. These go at the bottom of the draw deck, and it's kind of like has that time element to it. And of course, just like the other ones, it's got the what the card does, an illustration, and the flavor text at the bottom. So, and then last but not least, the board. Alright. And the board is pretty colorful. It's divided into 12 areas. The name of the area, how much money it costs to build a building in there is right there, and that's the value and victory points it's worth. And you can tell by the borders which areas. So when you have the area, so adjacent area would be right next to it. They're either connected by rivers or bridges, so you can kind of know how they're connected. So if they're not directly connected, you'll know, because like the shades is right next to Dimwell and stuff like that. So you can easily tell it's really nice board. Alright, this is now the start of the game. Each player is going to get 10 monies. You're going to get one of these and 5 of the other. So, and then each player is going to get all their colors, and you're going to put one trouble marker in the Dolly Sisters, one in the Scores, and one in the Shades trouble marker, because trouble already starts. And then you're going to get one of these. So we're going to have like a 3-player game here. So 3 players. Bada boom, bada bing. That's all there is to that. Then you're going to deal 5 cards to each player. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And making sure that they're not the brown ones. They're all sorted. So, I'm going to be the green player. And for all sakes, this is my winning condition. I'm Lord Rust, so, which isn't going to be really that important right now. So, we're going to take a look at some of the cards here. We're going to start with Knobby Knobs. I'm going to play. You typically play 1 card, and then you draw it back. Your hands up back to 5. So, Knobby Knobs. I go from left to right. There's a little scroll here. Says with it on the text. It says take $3 from a player of your choice. So, I'm obviously in the beginning of the game. I know everyone has money, so definitely it's a good card to play. And then this green symbol means I can play another card if I choose to. Everything's optional. You don't have to do it unless you want to. The only action that is not optional is this little star symbol, or like astrology symbol, whatever. It's an event card, and you have to play that. So if since this Rincewind has it, I have to immediately draw a card from the draw deck. And we got Trolls. It says roll a die 3 times and place 1 troll minion in each area. So that's where rolling the dice would be. I got area 1 gets a troll. So I'm going to decide to play the Pussycat Club card. I get $3 from the bank. And then I get to play another card. So I do that. I then will decide to play the Sergeant and Goanna. I get to remove a trouble marker from the board if I choose to. My winning condition isn't to put them on, so obviously I might want to take them off, so in case there's a person that has the trouble marker sign there. And I can play another card if I choose to, which I'm going to. Now, I can either build a building, or play a minion, remove a trouble marker, and again get $1. Well, since there's no trouble marker on this board, and I have enough money to build an area in the Shades, I might as well do that. So I'll take the building. I'll pay my $6 there, and I successfully build a building there. Because obviously I couldn't build a building in the Scores or the Unreal Estate or anywhere else on the board, because there's certain conditions. For one, there's trouble markers on the board on these areas. I couldn't do it. And I don't have any minions in the other area to actually put a building in. So you actually have to have a minion of your color in order to do that. So I then would draw my hand back up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, normally trouble markers are bad. Now, in this certain circumstances, if I want to play a card called Dr. Crucis, I actually had to have a trouble marker on the board in order to kill a minion. So I can knock off any minion I want. I'm going to knock off yellow. And then, of course, when you knock off a minion, you remove a trouble marker. Now, how trouble markers get on the board is if there's, like, let's say a player played a card that would move one of my minions to another area. Well, since there's more than one minion in an area, a trouble marker would be placed in there. And anytime a minion is leaves an area or is killed or whatever reason, the trouble marker goes with the minion. So if they knocked my player off, I would, remove the marker. Alright. We're going to start with the Fire Brigade card here. It says, choose a player if he does not pay you $5 and you can remove one of his buildings from the board. Very confrontationist card. Dr. Whiteface. Select another player if they do not give you $5 and place this card in front of them. This card now counts towards their hand size of 5 cards when they come to refill their hand. They cannot get rid of this card. So you can either use it to get money from another player, or know they're broke, hose them from getting more cards. Mrs. Cake. This one allows you to look at the personality deck, all but one of them, so you can see what ones are not selected. And hello, Mr. Death himself. He allows you to assassinate 2 people, and then of course build a building, which is probably likely after you get rid of those trouble markers. So, alright, my final thoughts on Discworld Anhk-Morpork by Martin Wallace. I really like the game a lot, and there's many reasons why I like this game a lot. For one, it's easy to pick up and play. You can easily teach this to new players without having them to knowing a lot about the rules. It's pretty much all the information is right there in front of you. There is no real hidden information from the players on how to play the game, but it has the element of you don't know what your opponents have for their personality traits. You're basically going around the board trying to figure out what they just done, whether or not they're doing it to prevent, help them do their goals. Because you'll see them, like, you'll see someone putting trouble markers on the board. You can say, well, think to yourself, well, are they trying to get the 8 trouble markers on the board because they're going to win the game, or are they just trying to do it as a decoy so that you'll try to waste your turn trying to remove them from the board so they can build a building next turn? Kind of like getting rid of a card and hoping that the next card they're going to get is a build a building card. And, always just wondering what's going to happen. Then you got some Joe Smo down the next turn decides, oh, I'm going to have a little fun. Plays the card with a random event, and after someone just built a lovely building, they play a card and it causes a fire. Fire destroys their building. They just, by random luck of the die, and poof, all that hard work of building that building is gone. And I mean, you got all this stuff going on. And then there could be 8 trouble markers on the board, and no player has that victory condition they can win. And that you draw a random event, and all of a sudden, oh, there's 8 or more trouble markers on the board. Game is over. So then now you tally up your victory points, and if you spend all your time trying to get your goal, and you don't have a lot of property value and stuff like that, and someone else does, the victory points are going to really, play a hefty, deal there. So it's really interesting, concept on how the game is. I mean, you're only typically playing one card, and you're drawing your hand on the 5, but then there's that player interaction, because there's a lot of mess with your neighbor type game. But inadvertently, while you're messing your neighbor up, you could inadvertently be messing yourself up for the fact that the other opponents are going to wonder what the heck you're doing. You're basically handing them a victory point or something, but you don't know that. That's the full point. Then you got those cards that help you. The card that'll say, hey, you look at the unused personalities and say, oh, that one isn't in play, so that guy is just decoying me with the troll marker, so I would be doing other stuff and all that stuff, taking them down and all that. So there's a lot of that stuff going on. And it's a very chaotic game. It's like, you know, there's just constant taking pieces, moving pieces, playing pieces, taking money from another player, preventing them from using that money next turn to build a building. I mean, there's always this player interaction going on with that game. And I'd recommend this game with anywhere between 3 to 4 players. It says 2 to 4, but a 2-player game, it really doesn't have the oomph because of the fact that there's cards that say, you know, take 2 cards from any player. Well, if you're playing 2 players, the only person you're going to be taking cards from is the other player. And it's not as much fun as saying having the control to take a card from someone else that you want instead, and you know, like guessing if, you know, if they got crap or not. You're going to be taking crappy cards from them, or if you're going to actually get a beneficial card that you need, or take one from them that they really need. But when you're only playing 2 players, there's not much going on. It's a fun game, but it doesn't shine that good. It shines very well with 3, but it really does a great job with the maximum 4. So if you got 4 people playing this game, it's great. So you get you and 3 other players. This game is a blast. You know, it's constant stuff going on. It's just chaotic. It's a medium to light game. It's you can use it as a filler game, and so you play another game, or you can even play as your main game. It's works either way, and it doesn't take that long to play. And usually, when you get done with the game, you might want to play it again because it's just fun. And that's what games should be about, fun. And I really think this one's a gateway to other games, because those that know a lot about the Discworld will enjoy it, but those that don't know much about the Discworld will probably want to start reading the books or watching the movies and stuff like that. So from both aspects of it, you're really going to have fun with it. So if there is a game to get a person into board games, I definitely would think Discworld would be one of them. So that's it. Thanks for watching my review, and I'll see you guys next time.